Hello everybody and welcome back. So in this tutorial we're gonna make these shapes rotate. Super nice. So in the last one we finished off in the Houdini and make these shapes. And if you don't want to make these shapes you can download it and you find the link in the description. Or you do the tutorials and make it self and you can decide how many of these ones you want. To make the effect even cooler. And we're gonna remove this shape and remove this round, and I'm gonna put it back in so it's kind of fresh and clean. So in the last tutorial we're gonna do the post process and make it shine and look really cool. But for now I'm just gonna do the code. So, or maybe I do the post process in the end. It depends on how much time I have. First off, we make script, and it's going to be rotating shapes. So let's open this one up. And here we have it. And I can't name the script with 116 in the beginning. So I'm gonna close this one down. So I'm gonna delete this script and make it one more time. So create a script. It's gonna be a rotating shapes 116. This will work. And open this one up. So here we have it. The first thing I'm just going to do, remove this part, and we're not going to use start, so we don't need it. And we also, if you're using Unity 6, you notice we only have Unity engine. So when we're going to use list in this one, so we're going to use system.collections and we're going to use system.collections.generic. Now we can do a public list of game object. Whoops, it can be like this. Let's see, I do it one more time. Public list, and it's going to be game object. And I'm going to call it shapes. Perfect. A new list of game objects. So now in Unity, here we have our game object and all the shapes is under here. That's perfect. So we're just going to add our script onto it and we have it here and shapes is empty. So if we just lock this one inspector here, now we can select the childs, just drag and drop. Now you see we have 5. So now we have all the shapes. Isn't it perfect? It is. It is super perfect. And I'm going to save the scene. So now in the code, we just need to make it rotate. So what we need to do, I'm going to do like this. So variables. Actually, I'm going to have this one too. This is only for organization purpose. You don't need to do this. Properties. Yeah. So we're going to have a private float time. And the reason we do this because we need to rotate this. Not all the time, but we're going to do incrementally. Like each 4th second, we're going to start rotate stuff. So we need this public float, and we're gonna call it time between each list start. And it's going to take 2 seconds between each time we start to go through the list and rotate stuff. So the time to do this, the way to do this, we're going to do time plus equal time dot delta time. Delta time, perfect. This is what I want. And so we increment the time, and if time is more, than time between each list start, then we're gonna start iterating through the list. So so the first thing we do, if it is more than 2 seconds up here, then we just make the time to 0 again, so it starts over. And also, we're going to make this an I enumerator, so we can start spin list like this. So here, we're going to do start coroutine and start spin list like this. And the reason we have a problem here is because this is an I enumerator. We need a yield. So we're going to have, we're going to do for each object. So we're going to do shape.count here. So for each object, we're going to start spinning it. And we need, if we do like this, well, I'm going to first off do yield, return, new, wait for seconds. So we need this public float time between each object starts. Let's do 0.2. So what's happening here? Now we're going to go through each of the objects in the list and start spinning them. But we don't want the objects to start spin at the same time. So here we're going to actually use this one. So first we take, here we're going to do spin shape. So first we spin the shape, and then we're going to wait 0.2 seconds and do the next one. So, and then we're going to wait and do the next one. So this is why we do the start coroutine with a list. So here we need to make yet another function, an I enumerator. So it's going to be a spin object. So it's going to be like this, and we're going to first, I'm just going to copy this one so we don't have any error. We need a yield. So here we need actually a game object per game object, because now when we want something to start spin, we need to start coroutine, and we're going to spin game object, and we're going to, in this function, we're going to send in the object we want to spin. So we do like this. And then we just do shapes, and we're going to take the index, and then we're going to go game object like this. Transform, that's what we want. I actually want to do transform. So now we're gonna, in this function, we push in the transform. So we're not gonna have game object. We're gonna do transform. So in this I enumerator, we're gonna make a for loop again, and we do for. It is gonna be current time, and we're gonna have new time. I'm gonna do time like this. So we need a new parameter here, and this is gonna be a public float, and this is gonna be time object rotate, and it's gonna be let's do 1 second. So this loop gonna be going on as long as 1 second. So the time gonna be a float, and we're gonna increment it plus equal time dot delta time. So this is gonna take exactly 1 second to go through this for loop. And what we're gonna do is just to do cur transform, and we're gonna make a local Euler angle, and we're gonna make this local Euler angle a new vector 3. And we're gonna keep the so we have the x value, y value, and z value. So we're gonna make a new value here, and so we're gonna take the cur time times 90 degree. So what's happening now, during 1 second it will start with 0 degrees, and then eventually it's going to be 90 degrees in the end. And we do this in the eye as well. So if we save this one, actually this yield needs to be in here, and we're going to do, instead of seconds, wait for end of frame. So if we just test this code out now, it should work. And we have everything set up, the list is populated, and let's press play. And you see it works. And time between each list start, and okay, so something is not super correct here. And you see here, it takes time between each list start. That's supposed to decide how long time it is between each list to start. And here we want to decide time between each object to start. So that was wrong. So let's go back and see how that looks, and press play. And here we have it. Isn't it super cool? Scene game. So yeah. So let's tweak it a little bit. And one thing that I want to do on this one is that, well, first off, I'm just gonna make the main camera look at this angle, something like this. So what I did, I pressed the camera, and then I did Control Shift F, and now the main camera actually positioned it over here. So if I go here and I have the main camera selected and do Control Shift F, now I changed the camera first to look where I was looking. So this is nice. So what I want to do here, I just want to remap this, make it a little bit smoother. So I'm gonna make public animation curve remap time equal we're gonna, and then we do animation curve dot ease in out. I'm gonna do 0 0 1 1. This line made us, I'm going to show you. So now we have this remap time. So if you look at this one, here it's 0 and here it's 1. So if I do like this, when it's 0.5, the value is 0.5. So So this line doesn't change anything. But if I do like this, in the beginning it will take longer time because before it gets the momentum, and then it's going to ease in. So with this curve in the code, if we just do, we're going to do float curve new time is equal remap time dot evaluate curve time. So what I do now, I'm kind of new time. I did new time like this. So what I do now, I just make it a little bit more smoother. So I take this time and I put it into this animation curve and remap it. And by doing this little stuff, we make the rotation a little bit starting off smoother and ending in smoother. So let's try this one out. You see, much smoother. So this is how it's made. In the next tutorial, it's going to be a super quick one. I'm just going to show how I set up the post process and the color. So thank you so much for watching and see you in the next tutorial.